Had you buried it back in your mind so far that he could potentially be your child's father, you just again didn't admit it to yourself?
Your Honor.
Or did you say to yourself, oh my goodness, this could be my child's father that passed away?
There's something odd going on, and even though you got the girlfriend, you all got too much going back and forth. Legacy's 9 months old. This is important, you all.
While I realize you made up this make-believe future in your mind, let me give you the newsflash. He has a legal right to see his child.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn and get comfy because things are about to get real. Miss Fisher claims that her mother, Miss Johnson, raised her without ever revealing who her biological father really is. Can you believe it? How can you not know who your own daddy is?
Keeping all of this away from you and having to come out like this.
You voluntarily said, I am the father?
I always felt she was my daughter.
You said you deceived both of them.
You're admitting you just made a huge mistake.
If you have kids, listen to them. They're trying to tell you something.
Who's the father?
I deserve to know who my father is.
There is a lot of doubt here.
Don't block them out and don't ignore it. Deal with it.
Whoa.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Fisher versus Johnson.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
But wait, it gets even crazier. Miss Fisher's mother had not one, but two potential fathers in the picture. Talk about a complicated love triangle.
That answer because both men have been tested and we will meet them shortly. Now, Ms. Johnson, you argue that you've always had doubts about your daughter's paternity, but since both potential fathers have taken part in her life, you feel Ms. Fisher should just be grateful for what she had.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Fisher, tell us, why do you disagree with your mother's position?
Miss Fisher is determined to find out the truth, and who can blame her? She's been living in the dark for far too long. It's time to shine a light on this paternity mystery. Miss Fisher grew up believing that Mr. Fisher was her father. Can you imagine finding out at the age of 10 that there might be someone else out there who could be your dad? What a bombshell!
At 10 years old, John comes around and
that's Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Fisher. He comes around to a birthday party and she says, this is your goddad. About 2 weeks into that, he's coming, picking me up for little day-to-day outings, but I can't understand it as a 10-year-old child. Until 2 months after that, she tell me that this is my dad. As a third grade, over the intercom, I've learned that my name was changed to Fisher.
Wait a minute.
And get this, folks, Miss Fisher's mom didn't just drop this bombshell on her out of the blue. No. She casually introduced Mr. Fisher as her goddad first. Can you believe that?
Evidence?
Yes, he went down there and got my last name changed. My
Girl,
last
let me
name
see
was
that.
Brooks. He changed it to Fisher. And this, she said she didn't know, but
Well,
she
I
had
knew
to be
you-
there.
Well, I
in
was
order-
there to get the name changed. Exactly. This is how it all came
So
about.
this is your birth certificate. It originally had one man's name, and now it's been changed to Fisher.
And I feel like I shouldn't
With
have.
John.
I mean, seriously, who does that? Hey, honey, this is your goddad. But oh, by the way, he might actually be your real dad. What a way to confuse a poor kid. But the plot thickens, my friends. Miss Fisher's mom even went as far as changing her last name to Fisher without her knowledge. Can you imagine finding out your name has been changed over the school intercom? Talk about a shocker.
Saying that when she was with him one time and backdating to my conception date, here you go.
How do you know how many times I was with somebody?
Because you said you was with him one time.
So let me take a look. You prepared a calendar that outlines.
The conception of my year of when she would have got pregnant with me.
You
So
decided
in
to see all
yellow,
of this?
the dates are highlighted
Mr.
where your mom was intimate with Mr. Triplett.
Exactly.
Now let's meet the two potential fathers, Mr. Fisher and Mr. Triplett. Buckle up because things are about to get even more complicated. Mr. Fisher claims that he always believed Miss Fisher was his daughter. He even saw her as a baby and had that special connection. But why didn't Miss Johnson ever explicitly tell him? The suspense is suffocating.
What they were told and what they know, because this is confusing, Miss Fisher.
Especially
I'm
for her.
confused right with you. Hello, sir.
Hello, Judge.
Now, Mr. Fisher,
Yes, ma'am.
you now contend that this beautiful young lady, Miss Fisher, is your daughter.
Yes.
But for the first 10 years of her life, you weren't there.
I was there, but I wasn't there to walk her through her way as a young woman.
On the other hand, we have Mr. Triplett, who lived with Miss Johnson for 7 years and believed Miss Fisher was his daughter all along. Can you imagine the shock when he found out he might not be her biological father?
Me and Calvin.
I'm sorry for keeping all of this away from you and having to come out like this.
You're admitting you just made a huge mistake.
If you have kids, listen to them. They're trying to tell you something.
You don't really know which one is truly your biological father.
Before we get to the results, let's take a moment to appreciate Miss Fisher's courage and determination. She's been searching for the truth for so long, and now it's finally within her grasp. But will she finally know the truth, or will it slip away again?
Saying you were not attempting to get child support from two men at the same time for one child.
It was very upsetting to hear that.
You don't really know which one is truly your biological father.
If you have kids, listen to them. They're trying to tell you something.
There is a lot of doubt here.
The tension is building, folks. It's time to reveal the results and put an end to this paternity mystery once and for all. It's time for Miss Fisher to find out who her real father is and start building that father-daughter relationship she'd been longing for. Will it be Mr. Fisher, who has always believed he was her father? Or will it be Mr. Triplett, who lived with Miss Johnson for years and thought he was her dad? The moment of truth is here.
That her father is Mr. Triplett.
I still love you, baby. Don't nothing change, Cal. You've been
Mr.
family this
Triplett?
long, man.
Yes.
Are you happy today? You said that you wanted her to be your daughter.
Yes, I always thought she was. Me and Mary had just had a baby the year before. And like I said, we were living together 7 years.
Miss Percival Hansen has spent the last 31 years of her life desperately seeking acceptance from her father. But here's the twist. Mr. Hansen, the alleged dad, is having none of it. He's claiming he never slept with Miss Percival's mother, and there's no way she could be his daughter. Oh boy, this is gonna be good.
No, she existed.
He told me your mother was a whore and sleeping with somebody else in the backseat of a car.
He is the father.
She don't even look like me. Damn drama queen.
I went to older guys looking for the void that my mother never gave me. You not being there has affected me more than you know.
I know for a fact you're not my daughter.
I need answers.
Get the test out and we'll prove it.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Percival Hansen versus Hansen.
But wait, there's more. Just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, another young woman and her mother enter the courtroom, claiming that Mr. Hansen is her father too. Talk about a bombshell. Now we've got two women fighting for the same man's attention. This is like a real-life soap opera, folks.
Mr. Hansen, you claim you did not sleep with Miss Percival's mother at the time she was conceived, and there is no way she is your daughter.
That's right, Your Honor. She's not my daughter.
Additionally, there is yet another young woman waiting outside of the courtroom claiming Mr. Hansen is her father. She will be joining us shortly, accompanied by her mother. So, Miss Percival, please share with the court why you feel Mr. Hansen has rejected.
Ms. Percival steps up to the podium and she's not holding back. She tells the court how her father has rejected her entire life, refusing to take a DNA test and denying her existence. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. But Mr. Hansen isn't backing down either. He's confident that he never cheated on his wife and that there's no way Ms. Percival could be his daughter. The tension is palpable and we're just getting started.
Why is it you deny her?
I was married with another woman at the time. There's no way. Me and the other woman that I was in a relationship with was having a baby. And I don't cheat. When I'm with somebody, I stay with somebody. I just got out of a 20-year marriage. I was with the woman 20 years, never cheated on her.
You're in a marriage.
Yes.
And you say you never cheated on your wife.
That's right.
Now it's time for Ms. Vilpando to take the stand. She spills the tea, revealing that she was indeed intimate with Mr. Hansen while he was still married. Oh, the plot thickens. And guess what? She even drops a bombshell of her own, claiming that Mr. Hansen called Ms. Percival's mother a whore. Yikes, things just went from bad to worse.
I was 6 years old.
At 6 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
And from that point on, you had in your mind, this is your father. But he's never established a real relationship with you.
No, I barely met him personally 2 months ago at Teresa's house.
My other daughter. Which that's a 50-50 chance too. That's a different story.
Oh, and there's another surprise in store. Mr. Hansen's ex-wife and the daughter she had with him enter the courtroom. This is like a full-blown family reunion, folks. Ms. Merchant, the ex-wife, wastes no time in declaring that she knew Ms. Percival was her husband's daughter from the moment she was born. Oh, the drama is off the charts.
That's a lie. I was never with her after we split up, after our first daughter was born.
Miss Percival, let me ask you, did you know Mr. Hansen growing up?
No, ma'am. He wasn't even in my sister Jessica's life. He took off.
No, I didn't take off.
Oh, yes,
I was
you did.
refused to see my daughter.
No, you refused
But
yourself.
I never got to, I didn't even know she was even around until she was like 12 or 13 years old. I didn't even know she existed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was through my other brother.
Now it's time for the moment of truth. The first set of DNA test results are in, and the tension in the courtroom is unbearable. Will Mr. Hansen be proven wrong, or will he have to face the consequences of his actions?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
I can't wait for the child support.
Huh?
Hold on 1 second before you say what you have to say. State your name for the court.
Tracy Merchant.
You're Ms. Merchant, and your name?
I'm Teresa Hansen.
All right. So, Ms. Merchant, you were married to Mr. Hansen.
Yes.
At the time that Miss Percival was conceived,
Yes, I knew that she was born. I knew she was his when she was born.
All right, folks, here it is. The results are in, and Mr. Hansen, you are the father of Ms. Hansen. Oh, snap. The courtroom erupts in cheers, and Ms. Percival finally gets the validation she's been seeking for all these years. This is a moment that will go down in paternity court history, but we're not done yet.
You knew this was your father, and he never said he denied you were his child. You just felt like he didn't treat you.
No, he did tell me that he thought that my uncle or somebody in the family was my biological father.
When did he tell you this?
Could be, I said.
Probably around 11.
When you were 11? So you grew up not knowing if your father...
There's still one more result to reveal. The tension is still thick in the air as the judge announces that it's time to determine the paternity of Ms. Percival. Will Mr. Hansen's doubts be proven right, or will he have to face the consequences of his actions once again? Let's find out.
Mr. Hansen, you are her father.
No,
Yeah.
I love you too. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're most certainly welcome. You seem relieved, Mr. Hansen.
Yes, that's the only one I was worried about. I apologize. I don't mean to be inconsiderate or ruthless.
Buckle up, folks, because in today's episode, we have Mr. Campbell going head-to-head with his ex-girlfriend, Miss McKeer. And let me tell you, this case is a roller coaster ride of emotions and accusations. Get ready for the drama to unfold.
I saw her in her bra and panties in the room with another man. He was sitting on the edge of that bed.
No, he wasn't. He was sitting on the bench.
Afraid. He was terrified.
He was
when
not
he seen me
terrified.
walk in that room.
He was terrified.
He was terrified.
Jerome, are you terrified of Mr. Campbell?
Ooh. I told you on multiple occasions that we do not have to have a relationship.
All right.
That's not what we said last night.
Mr. Campbell storms into the courtroom like a hurricane. He's accusing Miss McKeer of being a gold digger and a cheater. Oh, the drama is already off the charts, and we're just getting started. This is going to be one wild ride.
Whose goal is to pin her 9-month-old son legacy on you for her own personal gain. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McSeer, you say Mr. Campbell is a compulsive liar who's denying your son out of spite because you no longer want to be with him. You claim to know exactly when and where your son was conceived, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Picture this, folks. Mr. Campbell barges into Miss McKeer's house and catches her in her bra and panties with another man. Oh, the scandal. The tension in that room must have been thicker than molasses. This case is heating up faster than a hot potato.
You expect me to think we're in an exclusive relationship?
Any proof of this?
That makes no
Any
sense.
proof of this?
You know it's the truth.
This is part of your habitual lying.
You know it's the truth, Mariah.
Not at all.
One day she went out and I saw her in her bra and panties in the room with another man. When I came to the house, I came to come get some stuff, and when I came to that house, it was a random car sitting in that driveway.
Mr. Campbell claims he's seen Miss McKeer talking to different men and even sending them explicit pictures. Talk about a plot twist. The drama just keeps on coming, and we're here for every juicy detail.
Your Honor, she is known for sleeping with married men. She is known for that. She is known for being a home wrecker. She is known for breaking up happy homes. That's the type of person that she is, Your Honor.
Really?
She says I'm the compulsive liar, but no, she's the compulsive liar.
You're definitely the compulsive liar.
She's the compulsive liar.
You say Ms. McSeer was at her house with her shirt off with another man, and she admits it. So you come in there and what happened?
Hold on to your hats, folks, because Miss McKeer drops a bombshell. She says she knows exactly when she conceived her son, Legacy, and it was during Hurricane Irma. Can you believe it? When the lights were out and the storm was raging, love found a way. This case is as stormy as that night.
So you had heard that she would be with married men.
Yes.
Okay, and then you believe one of them could potentially be Legacy's biological father.
Yes,
I know when I conceived. I know when I conceived.
So you say you know when you conceived?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you know this, Miss McSeer?
Because in September of 2017, Hurricane Irma hit. At that time, we were staying together.
Mr. Campbell comes prepared with some spicy evidence. He shows the court pictures of not one, not two, but 4 different men. He holding Legacy. 4 people. And guess what? None of them are him. Oh, the suspense is killing us. Who's the real baby daddy? This case is turning into a game of musical chairs.
With me and my kids.
Because I had money, and that's all you wanted. You wanted
got so
my
much money,
money.
but no stability. Sounds like a person I want to pin a baby on.
Because no, you took everything from me.
Okay.
So, Ms. McSeer, I want to be clear.
That was the week you say you conceived, and you remember it because of the hurricane.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's see if we can confirm that. So first, I want to look up the date of this hurricane to see if you know what you're talking about.
Brace yourselves, folks, because this case just took a wild turn. Mr. Campbell claims he heard through the grapevine that Miss McKeer had a paternity test done with another man. What? Is this true? Did she really doubt Mr. Campbell's paternity? The tension is through the roof.
Sears bed.
Yes, Your Honor, I do remember that, yes.
Okay.
I do remember. But the conception time it doesn't add up, Your Honor.
Why doesn't it add up to you? Explain.
She told me she got pregnant around the end of September, not the beginning.
Lucky for you all, I have my conception calculator and we can get down to the bottom of that too.
The courtroom is a battlefield as Mr. Campbell and Miss McKeer face off. Accusations are flying left and right, and the drama is reaching its boiling point. It's a verbal showdown of epic proportions. This case has more twists and turns than a pretzel factory, and we just got to the final twist, the DNA test results.
Campbell, you are the father. You're the father. That is your beautiful baby. Why does it make you feel so emotional?
Because she won't let me be in his life. Like, she hates me so much. That's why I cry. Because, like, I want to be in my son's life, like my dad was in my life.
In this episode, we meet Mr. Quarles, a man who claims he's been paying child support for a child he's convinced is not his. Can you imagine the financial shambles he's in? I mean, his checks are only $40 to $50 every 2 weeks. Woo, that's rough.
So you didn't have more when you was opening your leg.
You put him on child support.
Yes, ma'am.
How do I get put on child support? I ain't signed no birth certificate. I ain't doing,
If you don't pay your child support, you can go to jail.
They might just send me to jail for 6 months.
It's his.
It was just a one-night stand.
You asked the court to administer a lie detector test?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you intimate with any other person?
Not that I can recall.
What did you say, Miss Forrester?
But hold on tight, folks, because Ms. Forrester, the child's mother, is 100% certain that Mr. Quarles is the father. She even put him on child support, and they've been fighting about it ever since. Talk about a messy situation.
To a one-night stand, you are now in financial shambles caused by child support for a child you don't believe is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Forrester, you initially claimed Mr. Quarles was not your daughter's father, but you are 100% certain that he is. And when proven, you expect him to financially support her.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Quarles, explain to me, how has this child support issue?
Now get this, Mr. Quarles claims he never even knew he was put on child support until a letter arrived at his old house. Can you believe it? How does that even happen? And to top it off, he wasn't even on the birth certificate.
He just stay at that I had to go to court. I never knew that. It was a month later. The next thing I know, I'm getting put on child support. I just want to know, how do they do that? I mean, how do you not, you not show up for something because it was, the mail went to somewhere to the other house, but how do I get put on child support and I ain't signed no birth certificate,
Well, you were named the father by default because you didn't show up to court.
So Ms. Forrester initially told everyone, including Mr. Quarles' wife, that he wasn't the father. Oh boy, talk about a tangled web of lies and deceit. This case is heating up, folks.
Take child support from your check, they garnished your wages. That's how it happens. Did you appear in court ever?
Yeah.
Did you request a DNA test?
Yes.
And you were what, denied?
Denied.
He didn't request a DNA test till 2 years ago. Because I asked the child support for a DNA test, they said no, that he has to be the one to ask for it.
Are you up to date on this child support?
No, ma'am.
No.
You don't make enough money to pay this child support.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about their relationship. Mr. Quarles and Ms. Forrester were co-workers, and things started to get a little spicy when he flirted with her and asked for her phone number. Ooh la la! Can you feel the drama building?
How often were you having sex with her?
It was just a one-night stand, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
One time.
It was not, ma'am. I took a lie detector test.
Wait, you're saying that it was more than one time?
Yes, ma'am.
And you asked the court to administer a lie detector test?
Yes, ma'am.
Jerome, do we have those results?
Yes, we do.
So you volunteered
Yes.
for a lie detector test because you say you had sex with him more than once.
Yes, ma'am.
And guess what? Courtroom commentators. They didn't just have a one-night stand. Nope, it went on for 3 whole months. Oh, the plot thickens. But here's the kicker. Mr. Quarles claims it was only a one-time thing. Who's telling the truth here?
You said yes, and the lie detector determined that was the truth. Mr. Quarles, maybe you need to rethink this relationship.
She may not know who she was sleeping with and just called them all year since she's saying she only was with one black man, but other black men at the same job.
To settle the score, Mr. Quarles took a lie detector test to prove that he only had sex with Ms. Forrester once. Can you believe it? The results are in, and we're in for a shocker. Ms. Forrester's told everyone, including Mr. Quarles' wife, that he was the father. Oh, the drama. But when confronted, she denied it. What a roller coaster of emotions.
What was his response?
No, I told Yuri first. He came over that night and I showed him 5 different pregnancy tests.
No, that's a lie.
And you told him?
I told him that I was pregnant and he said that he takes care of his, not to worry.
No, the whole workplace, she's going around telling everybody that I'm the father, and that's how she found out. She told me that I was the baby's father.
All right, folks, it's time for the moment of truth. The lie detector results are in, and let me tell you, it's about to get real. Drum roll, please.
At your job?
At my job.
Why did you lie to her when she asked you point blank, is this child Mr. Quarles?
I didn't want to break up their relationship.
But you could sleep with him.
Guess what? It's a two-way street.
She says she overheard you saying to someone that it was not his child.
That's not true.
I don't have to get up here and lie. It's a kid involved.
Exactly.
In the case of Quarles versus Forrester.
The lie detector determined that Ms. Forrester was telling the truth when she said she had slept with Mr. Quarles more than once. Can you believe it? The plot just thickened and the drama floodgates were open.
He is biracial.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so that's why you keep trying to pinpoint some other black guy. Why did you lie to her when she asked you point blank, is this child Mr. Quarles?
I didn't want to break up their relationship.
But you could sleep with him.
He slept with me. Guess what? It's a two-way street.
But hold on to your seats, folks, because Mr. Quarles still insists that it was only a one-night stand. Oh, the tension is palpable. Who's telling the truth? We're about to find out.
I didn't want to hurt your feelings either. You seem like a pretty nice lady. Why would I want to say he was sleeping with me?
And again, if I'm a nice lady.
I said you seem like a nice lady.
How do you have morals all of a sudden?
So
you didn't have morals when you was opening your legs, but
he can't have morals when he's sleeping with me. He has no morals.
But let me ask you this, Ms. Forrester. So since you worked together, when you started sleeping with him, you knew they were in a relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's bring in Mr. Quarles' mother, who overheard Ms. Forrester saying it might not be her son's child. Can you imagine the shock and disbelief? This case just keeps getting crazier by the minute.
Yes, because you have so much money that I want, Mr. Quarles.
I'm telling you.
What money is this?
I mean,
at the time he was in a record deal, and
really, I didn't know he was in a record deal. That's not why I slept with him, that's for sure.
While you're having this child, is Mr. Quarles helping you, participating in the pregnancy? Was he there at the birth?
No.
Nothing.
All right, folks, it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA test results are in, and this is where the rubber meets the road. Judge Lake has the envelope in her hands, and we're about to get some answers.
Mr. Quarles, you are the father.
Well, it makes me happy. I would like to see her. I like visitation rights, everything.
No.
What did you say, Miss Forrester?
I said no.
So now you don't want them to be a part of your child's life?
My daughter's 4. She has a dad.
All right, folks, let's meet our main players in this courtroom drama. We've got Mr. Johnson, who thought he was the father of little Dakari, and Miss Owens, who initially led Mr. Johnson to believe he was the daddy. But hold on tight, because things are about to take a wild turn.
You say to yourself, oh my goodness, this could be my child's father that passed away.
It was never in my mind that he was my baby daddy. This little fella was in my mind.
How could you not think that he could have been your baby's father?
I remember this. Pipe down, little one.
You had sex, so how could that not be in your mind?
Sit, doggy.
How could that not be in your mind?
Both of you look like a fool. And a child sitting up here and don't know if his father's here or in a grave. You clowning.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Johnson versus Owens.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
So, it turns out Miss Owens had a little secret she was keeping from Mr. Johnson. She slept with another man, Mr. Tyson, around the time of conception. But here's the kicker. Mr. Tyson is now deceased. Can you believe it? Talk about a plot twist. Now, Miss Owens wants Mr. Tyson's family members to take a DNA test to determine if he is the real father. Drama, drama, drama.
But you recently learned that Miss Owens slept with another man who is now deceased around the time of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Owens, you claim that at the time you were pregnant, you believed the baby was Mr. Johnson's, but
as he got older, you were worried that he looked like Mr. Tyson.
Oh boy, tensions are running high in this courtroom. Mr. Johnson is feeling betrayed, claiming Miss Owens misled him about being the father. And Miss Owens, well, she's not holding back either. These two are going at it like cats and dogs, folks.
Hoping that it is her grandchild because her son is deceased. And I don't want him to be the father of my child because he's not going to be a father anyway.
So, Mr. Johnson, why is this so important to you?
Well, I feel like I've been misled, you know? She was telling me, you know, one minute that, oh yeah, you're the father. Then the next minute she's telling me, a couple years down the line, that I'm not the father, you know? I'm kind of confused here. I don't know what to think.
You lying.
How am I
Ms.
lying?
Owens, did you tell him at any point?
Just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, in walks Mr. Tyson's mother, Ms. Tyson. She's here to find out if little Dakari is her grandchild. Talk about a heartfelt moment. We can't wait to see how this all unfolds.
Had this discussion.
Yes.
The baby got a little older. You felt like he started looking like the other potential father, and so you had a heart-to-heart. You all put it all on the table.
He knew that I slept with Dwayne. That ain't no secret.
Yeah, I didn't know before you told me though.
Ms. Owens, you submitted to the court split-screen images of Mr. Johnson and your son Dakari. And then you also submitted a picture.
The judge is not messing around today, folks. She's laying down the law and demanding some order in this courtroom. And honestly, with all the shouting and name-calling, it's about time someone put a stop to it. Let's see if the judge can bring some sanity to this chaotic situation.
And it was at this point you determined maybe Mr. Tyson could be the father.
That's right, Your Honor.
She knew that all along though. That's the whole point. I'm trying.
No, I did not.
At some point, you two were in a relationship, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You got pregnant. He was at the hospital. Mr. Johnson was at the hospital.
And I
for the
paid for him to
though.
come to the hospital. I bought his
sorry?
ticket. I paid for him to come back.
All right, folks, it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA results are in. Will Mr. Johnson be the father? Or will it be the deceased Mr. Tyson? Will Mr. Johnson finally get the answer he's been waiting for? Will Miss Owens find closure for herself and Mr. Tyson's family? We're about to find out, folks.
Mr. Johnson, you are not his father.
There it is, right there. I already knew it from the beginning though, man. All thing she had to do was come out and tell me, you know?
I have the next set of results here. The probability of relatedness is 99.99%.